Hey guys, welcome to another player vlog from Vanguard Tactics, and I've got an awesome video lined up for you today. So in this video we're going to be covering my recent adventure with the Blood Angels, which are up there, to the competition and ITC tournament. Greetings of the Warp. So we're going to be covering what I do the night before, we're going to be covering all my games, game by game, what we did in the car in terms of planning our secondaries. You're going to see absolutely everything. I've done the very best job I possibly can to give you a comprehensive analysis of all of my games in what hopefully is an entertaining video for you. We're also going to hear from Andy, the sort of founder of Greetings from the Warp, at the end. So if you're interested in the event, you can find out a little bit more about that. But without any further ado, let's crack on with this video and you're going to absolutely love it. So guys, especially if you're a fan of the Blood Angels, wish me luck. So I'm packing now, preparing for the event in the weekend, and this is the sort of habit I'll go through, you know, every time I go to a tournament, just to make sure I tick all the boxes, I have absolutely everything, and I'm as prepared as I possibly can be. I don't want to make any mistakes before the event even starts. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through my list on Battlescribe, actually on BCP, to make sure that I've got all the models that I've submitted on my list. And then I'll probably take a couple of extra spare models just in case, like maybe a spare Death Company model or something. But what I'm going to be doing is finding my list that I've submitted, going for absolutely everything, and then placing them straight into foam trays. One thing I also do is any conversions that I have, so this is a converted Ashtaroth, and as you can see he's on a slightly larger base and he's a slightly larger model than the original one. So what I'm going to do is I take this model and I take the original model. Now he's on a slightly larger base, so basically the only thing I gain from this is a slightly bigger aura. Now what I would say to my opponent is that, providing that I use a 5.5 inch aura, is that okay for me to use this model? If not, then I'm also happy to use the original model. So again, you know, I can use this really cool converted model which looks nicer on the table. If my opponent agrees, fantastic. If not, I'm also happy just to use the original one. That way I'm not trying to game the system, and also both myself and my opponent are clear and know exactly what model's representing what. The other thing you can do obviously is get, what I've also done, or you can also get obviously confirmation from the TO. The other thing I do as well for a lot of my stuff is I use magnets, and I get my magnets from the Magnet Baron, and I'll put a link below because they are absolutely fantastic and super strong magnets. So yeah, it just helps in transportation and packing. So I do that for Mephiston. I've also got this on my Sanguinary Ancient, so he's actually magnetized to the banner and then also magnetized to the base as well. So that just means that in one part kit, rather than it all getting stuck in here, it can go in separate parts. And then also things like the wings on the Sanguinor, so again magnetized, nice and easy. I'm not too worried about them breaking off. So yeah, definitely get some magnets if you're, you know, if you do have some brittle models like that. So I hope that helps. So once I've put everything back in the tray, and I'm kind of happy with how everything's stored, then I go through absolutely everything else that I'm wanting to take to the event. So that'll just pop on there, close that up. Now before I do that, I've also got 6 of these things. These are sprayed black, you can barely see them, but basically these are spacers for my scouts. It means that I can put my army down on my army tray, which is over here. So nice big tray. This is foldable, it's got a mat inside. I'll put the army out on here as soon as I get there, and then what I'll do is I'll put the scouts on here straight down, so then when I deploy, it makes my deployment a lot quicker. So I've got my tray, these things, absolutely fantastic, super simple, and for those units that you're not too worried about where they go on the table, you know, just I would definitely use things like movement trays for them. Once we've done that, checking I've got absolutely everything else. So in here I have my cheat sheet. This is my Blood Angels cheat sheet that I've put together. If you want a copy of this, there's a link below. Just look for the Stephen boxes or Stephen's Blood Angel list and cheat sheet. Click that link and you can sign up for my list. It's my 2,000 point list, and also this one here. This is the cheat sheet, so you'll get that. Also, what I take with me is this is the new ITC mission pack. So just so, because it is raw and fresh, I can just double check absolutely everything. The other thing I have in here is a cheat sheet, which I'm not going to show you because this is only for people that are on the mentorship program. We talk a lot about analysing an opponent's list, and I have a personalised cheat sheet in here that I use, so I know exactly the right questions I need to be asking my opponents when I get to the table, and that's something I teach those guys on the mentorship program. Again, links are below for all that if you're interested in finding out more about taking your game to that next level. So and the other thing I have in here is just a simple, you know, rule book. One of the things you get in when you buy most of those boxes. So mission pack, cheat sheet for asking questions, and then also that rule book as well is in there. So again, I then now know I'm up together with all of my rules, knowledge, and everything I need. So that will go in my bag, my rucksack. Also, I've got 9-inch marker, so 9-inch movement or measurer, so when I'm doing my deep strikes it means I can be super quick with that. I've also got on here a 2-inch, 1-inch and 3-inch for different measurements, and then for when I get into close combat, this little gadget here, 1 inch and 2 inches, so I know if I've got a model within an inch when I'm looking to get those wraps and traps off, so that's really useful also, so that will go in the bag. I also carry my bum bag, fanny pack, what we're going to call it, that will go in here. So it's just easy accessible when I'm playing. Got my Jeff Robinson objective markers. We got these made for him, which was absolutely fantastic, with his bulldog on the front. So yeah, objective markers. Tape measure. Vanguard Tactics dice for everyone that plays me will get Vanguard Tactics dice. These will be coming more of these soon. And then I've also got my precision cut dice from D6 Dice. These are actually a metal and really nice weight to them, and I just really enjoy using these when I play, so check these out, D6 Dice. I'll put the link below if you want to get some of these. These are my metallic blue ones to go with my Ultramarines. I need some red ones really for my Blood Angels, but hopefully I'll get some of those next time I'm over in the States. Then I've also got, this was a gift, deployment map dice, excellent, bit of kit that, really useful. Again from D6 Dice, some wound counter or whatever, command point markers, so they'll also go in. And then I've also got my whiteboard. This is something that I teach, again, all about scoreboard management, so you can be in control of the game at all times. So if you know you need to attack or defend, I'll quickly draw this up, and my whiteboard pen. So that will go in my main bag, that will go in here. So I've got that access nice and quickly. Rubber on the end, obviously. So that's pretty much what I'm taking. The only other thing that you haven't seen is my chest clock. That's already in my rucksack. So that chest clock will go in. And then finally, rule books. So my main codex is on my phone, or the Blood Angel one, and then I have the Blood of Bile book here, easily accessible, much easier to give to somebody as well if they want to check out a rule. And then I've also taken this, and the reason why I'm taking the Ultramarines one is because game one I've been paired against the Ultramarines. A little bit of bedtime reading the night before, just to make sure I'm not going to get caught out by anything, maybe some of the relics, warlord traits that he's put down, psychic powers, just to check over absolutely everything, some of the stratagems, so I don't want to have you know, round one when there's so much going on, any gotcha hammer. So yeah, make sure I'm fully up together with that. And that pretty much concludes everything I'm taking to the event. Obviously camera and other, you know, food, drinks, snacks, stuff like that to make sure I'm hydrated and also, you know, keeping my energy up. And then I'll get some caffeine, whether it's black coffee or Monster, to take with me while I'm playing. And I can do another video on nutrition for events to make sure you're constantly staying focused on the game at all times. So hope that helps, and yeah, wish me luck. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? So,
morning. How you doing?
Me and Mark, we're off to Greetings of the Warp this morning. Had a very, as you can see, sunshiny day. So yeah, we're off to Greetings from the Warp. Where is Greetings from the Warp held?
Earthlingborough, which is in Northamptonshire.
Earthlingborough. Yep. So just left Mark's, and on our way we're to film a really good battle report yesterday. The Blood Angels versus Iron Hands. So Mark, I was using the Blood Angels, Mark on the Iron Hands, so you can see that one hopefully soon. Now, game one, Mark. It's a 5-day event. Sure. 1750 points.
5-game event.
Right. What did I say?
5 days.
5-day event.
We're in it till Wednesday. Buckle up.
It's a 15-round game. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Actually. Take a week off.
2-day event, 5 rounds, 1750 points. ITC, new beta mission pack. So we've just been going over some secondaries, haven't we?
Sure have.
Who are you playing, Mark, game one?
Chris, a guy that I've seen at this event numerous times, real nice guy, and he's running Dark Eldar.
And you're running your Iron Hands?
Iron Hands Successors, with my own homebrew Primaris Force, the Silver Sabres.
And you can see those now. Mark.
Oh, there's a lot of painting there.
There's a lot of painted models there, yeah. But obviously, absolutely beautiful. You've done a great job on that, mate. Absolutely great job. So yeah, the great thing about this homebrew Sabres list is that, you know, you could use them as like white scars. You could use them as whatever you want, really. So that's really cool. Do you think you'll be running Iron Hands for much longer?
I think that I'm going to transfer to Space Wolves when the new book comes out.
In a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think we'll get some decent buffs. I'm interested in trying to make what is the worst faction in 40k. You know, a reasonably competitive army, see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
The Blood Angels have had a big buff. Dark Angels have had a big buff, you know, like they were awful as well.
Yeah.
I think they've won a tournament recently, you know, they're looking like they've got some real tricks.
Yeah.
I know Ben played them recently and got beat by them actually in a tournament about, maybe even last weekend, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that I think the Iron Hands has been fun, but everybody hates me for running them, so I'm going to get rid of them, and the Silver Sabres will be something much fluffier.
Yeah. The Silver Sabres. So you're playing Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
It's mission 1 first, I believe. Or it could, sometimes they flip it and they make you do mission 5.
Well, I remember this event previously, they get the big fluffy dice out and roll it.
They get the big, okay, so we don't actually know what mission we're playing yet then. It's up in the air, guys, it's up in the air. So, depending on terrain setup, deployment, are you going to be looking to go first or second?
Definitely second.
You want to be going second, okay?
Definitely want to be going second.
Yeah.
The Chris's list has got a lot of units which can control objectives and got a lot of movement as well.
Yeah.
So really, I want to be using the firepower I've got to shoot him off those objectives, so that he's not getting the bonus. He's not getting, if possible, hold more. And I'm going to use my shooting power to be able to do that.
Unless you're playing on Planet Bowling Ball, then you just go first.
Yeah. Happy days.
Deploy on the line, go first, and just go.
I think we know that the terrain's superb at this event, so it's unlikely to occur. Yeah,
and I've been chatting to the guys from Greetings a lot about terrain, how to set it up in terms of making it functional but also looking great, so I think they've definitely done that.
So who you got, mate?
So I've got a guy called Sean, and Sean is running Ultramarines. Now it's a real funky list, but you look at it and you think, it's not that great. But I bet it plays really well. I bet it plays the mission well. And this is why you can't just you know, look at a list and think, oh, that's rubbish, because I'm looking at this thinking it's got some use here. Now, so it's got a chapter master, as we know, are fantastic for, and I'm looking at this from a Blood Angel perspective. How am I going to get my charges off? So chapter master, he's given free rerolls to everyone. Also, within 6 of him, any unit can heroically intervene. That's a problem for me. I think it's biker and infantry. He's then got a lieutenant, which you'd obviously expect. He's then got 3 units of intercessors, 2 units with thunderhammers, 1 unit of a power fist. Again, that's a bit of a problem for me because I do not like being hit in the face with thunderhammers.
Who does?
You know, they black my sanguinary guard. He's then got the Victrix Honor Guard, which I'm not 100% on, to be honest. But who knows? He's then got 2 units of eliminators. He's got Tiggy. He's got 10 Hellblasters, and then he's got 5 impulsors, all with the 4-up incredible save. And again, these things are -2 to charge. We can make his entire army -2 to charge, which is really annoying for me. And then he can also, I can't wrap him in trap. I can't rapid trap him. Again, that's a problem. It's all got a 4-up incredible save, so if he rolls hot on his saves, I'm not going to kill him. And then the Hellblasters for 2 CPs, if I charge an Impulsor and the Hellblasters are 6 inches behind, then he can overwatch with the entire unit. So there's a lot of problems there for me, actually. So I'm going to have to play really cagey. I can't just run at him and smash his face in, like I love to do in most other lists. I've got to play it a lot cagier. So, yeah. I'm not too worried about the eliminators and bits and bobs like that, but the Victrix Honor Guard. So in terms of secondaries, it makes it tricky because I don't really want to have to kill him. I might go for Born to be a Legend.
Yeah,
which,
you love that one, don't you?
Born to be a Legend, I think it's just in the name, you know, that's my, and I can just put that on the Sanguinor. The Sanguinor is born to be a legend. I mean, look at him, he's incredible. Look at him flying around now. There he is. See, look at him, he's born to be a legend, guys.
Beautiful model.
Beautiful model. Look at those wings as well. Anyway, so Born to be a Legend is changed, and it's a new ITC secondary that I really like the look of. You basically get a point for doing the following tasks. Now, it would be perfect on a Demon Prince or an Incarn, I think, something with the Psyker keyword, but it's not bad for this. So where is it? I'm going to read it out, what you get. So, you get a point for doing the following. Killing a non-character unit, killing a character unit, denying an enemy psychic power, holding an objective outside of your deployment zone, heroically intervening and beginning and end a battle round wholly within your opponent's deployment zone. So those things I can pretty much all do. Well, most 2 or 3, and then I'm happy. I think that's enough. And then I'm just going to go for something like Recon, or depending on the terrain, maybe King of the Hill, if I'm going second. So I'll play it cagey, see what happens. I won't be looking, and I'll just try and get the bonus as much as I possibly can in this one, and not really worry too much about having to kill anything. But if he leaves something open, then I'll go for it. Anyway, we've just arrived. So yeah, we're at the college where they run the event, and yeah, wish us the best of luck. All right. How you doing, mate? So we are, guys.
Hello, boys. I told you make a dramatic entrance. You alright, mate?
How you doing, boys?
Yeah, get you.
Yeah, good. Look at this, gents. Absolutely quality.
Good swap this morning. I think I'm happy.
How's it going, Jack?
Good, mate. How are you?
Are you excited for this?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, yeah.
Yeah? What are you running in?
Tau.
Tau. New Tau?
Yeah, new Tau, great good. So testing some new stuff out. First time. Drones and suits, that's it.
Got some tricks up your sleeve now, have you?
No.
No tricks.
Just stand and shoot.
And here he is.
Yeah, the Wraiths are back out.
Speed bump. He's got the Wraiths.
I've got a weird mismatch. Mismatch of a list.
I hate your list.
Why?
It's
hate beautiful, mate.
I know, Ben's like, we're sat in the car and I'm like, oh, I really hate playing against grotesques. Ben's like, Steve, I'm taking 9 grotesques next week. Yeah.
Ben's grudged you game on.
Has he?
Changed berries, yeah.
Changed bet, he's grudged me.
Yeah, we've grudged, mate. Yeah.
Well, at least you can't seize on me this time.
I can try. We're not using the new rules.
If you roll 6
rules, mate.
if you roll 6 6s, I'll let you do it consecutively. Yeah. So yeah, guys, look at the terrain. Absolutely quality stuff. Hang on a minute.
You all right, mate?
How you doing? All right?
Yeah, good.
So Matthew, you're on the mentorship program.
I am, yeah.
And you've got the Death Watch.
Death Watch.
Look at this list.
Dear God.
Love it, mate. And you've been having some games against Mark?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it'll be good.
Good.
It's the first ITC tournament, so yeah, it'll be good. Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck for it, and I hope you do well with the Death Watch. As you know, guys, absolutely love the Death Watch, so yeah.
Just waiting for the Psychic Awakening, and then hopefully.
Yeah, is that in the Beast one, do you think?
I'm hoping.
Maybe.
I'm hoping, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll be wicked.
I think it'd be good to have Orcs, Space Wolves in Death Watch.
Yeah, it's a good combo. I think it'd be nice. Yeah.
No, quality. No, it's good to meet you as well, finally, after having our conversations and stuff. So, yeah. Right. So, let's see what we can do then. Carl's over there with his beanie on. Another player for Vanguard Tactics. Got a new t-shirt for him. Right. So it's game 1, and up against an absolute gentleman called Sean. Loving the t-shirt, mate, and the hat. It is quality.
Not too many stains just yet.
And obviously playing the Ultramarines. Beautiful. I really love this list. It's really cool. So Sean's going first. I did win the roll-off, and I chose to go second. Yeah, Sean's gone for Recon, Butcher's Bill, and also Engineers. So we're playing Mission 2. Well, this is game 1, but we're doing Mission 2. We're doing missions 2 to 6. And there's the objective marker there. Really cool Marines that are down that he needs to save, and I just need to go in and confirm the kill, basically. So yeah, we've got 3 objectives. I've deployed some boys behind here. He's actually under there. Sean's been an absolute gentleman as well. Obviously, this is a bigger model than he should be. He should be the size of this. So Sean said he's happy for me to basically put him in there, which is absolute, you know, real sporting, which I like. And also we've got the other boys behind here, and I got some scouts deployed kind of around the table to get me my recon, because I've gone for recon Born to be a Legend, which is the Sanguinor in there, and also I've gone for Engineers. So yeah, Sean, let's have a good game, mate. We're now in your turn 1.
Right, Victor's guard, he's going to have to advance. Get me.
Beautifully painted as well, mate. Really nice.
Thank you. A lot of it, some of it was quite often lastminute.com.
I'll be interested to see what those honor guard do. Because you get the, there's that Vigilist attachment, isn't it, which can really buff them up.
Yes.
Get like re-roll wounds and stuff. Yeah, anyway.
They're turning wrong wounds and stuff.
So, myself and Sean, we've just finished up.
Yep.
It was a great game. Thank you very much.
It was a fun game, I enjoyed that.
It was a real pleasure. So, as you guys already know, earlier in the video in the car, I was talking about how I was going to play really cagey. And I thought that they're the secondaries that I went second to pull off my cagey plan. And you decided a little bit different, didn't you? So Sean, what was your kind of, where was your sort of thought process in terms of the setup of the game with first turn? What was your main objective?
My thought process was pretty much good, summed up in one word, which was wah!
Yeah. Should be playing Orcs, mate. Maybe.
No, I don't want to roll that many dice.
No. Unless they're mine, then they're alright.
Oh yeah, your dice were wonderful for me.
Yeah, not for me though. So we shared dice and just destroyed me, didn't they? But you did play super aggressive, which kind of played into my hand a little bit. You got rid of my chance to score pretty much all of my objectives. Sanguinor, he tried to be a hero, but you put a thunderhammer through his face, so that didn't go so well. And you got rid of my engineers so quickly through the impulsors being able to move so quick, get out, not in the same turn, but then in the subsequent turn charge all my scouts and get rid of my engineers. But I just kind of played the mission, didn't I? And I really focused on that.
Yeah, you've got really good bonus points and definitely
kill more and hold more, yeah. So the game finished up with 31 to myself, 10 to Sean. But Sean, you're a real pleasure to play.
I enjoyed that, and I learned a lot.
No, that's good. That's the most important thing. So anyway, guys, on to round 2. Best of luck, Sean.
You too.
Hope the next one goes well.
Thank you.
So, the Ultramarines Roundup. Now, this was a game that really kind of took me by surprise, actually, in the way that Sean had deployed and also his first turn. And a few things did actually catch me off guard. And one of those things was the ability to move and then jump out of those impulsors. So I had to be incredibly careful with where I was positioning my characters because he was able to essentially move out of combat and then jump out and shoot. And I ended up losing a fair amount in which I probably should have prevented. I did lose the Born to be a Legend secondary with the Sanguinor, which was really unfortunate for me, and also losing my engineers. So for me, it was bad secondary picks. I should have just known that I could have engaged at some point, and I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive. But anyway, on the whole, I was pleased that, you know, in the way that I played. I'd also played a really good round one, and also or for a first battle round one, should I say, managing to basically kill off a impulsor, wrapping it so that when it exploded all the models inside died, and then also consolidating into Tigerius and wrapping him up so that then I could kill him in his turn, which proved to be really, really effective. So I was really pleased with how my performance was in that game, and obviously now on to game 2. So guys, it's game 2, and you'll never guess, but I've only drawn the one and only Ben Jones. Can't believe it. So we didn't really want to play each other, especially this soon. It was kind of, if we both did well, inevitable we would play each other. So I went first, just kind of moved up, and Ben was forced then to deploy in the corner there. Now I'm really hoping Ben does fail his quicken, so those boys can just stay there.
It's not going to happen.
Yep, it's happening. It's happening, Ben. I'm calling it, Jonesy. You called when you had C's, and now it's going to be your comeuppance.
It's not going to happen.
You're failing, boys. Right, anyway, so yeah. Ben's got a disgusting list. I really like it though. It's so powerful, and he's running the Wraith Blades. We'll see what happens. So we've got the Blood Angels. Just got a cheeky little wrap off on these racks here, so he's gonna have to spend some CPs to get out of that. And now everything's moving forward. Now, one thing I did do, I was tempted to charge in the racks here, but that meant the Grotesques have basically got a free movement towards me, which I really don't want them getting. So yeah, see what happens.
I think that's it for movement, mate. Psychic phase.
So it's the end of my turn to... we've been slapping each other over it, haven't we? You haven't killed me and I haven't killed you, but
nothing
just kind of move block those Grotesques over there. Yeah, to keep my characters protected, but yeah, we're on to... well, Ben's brought the Wraith Blades in, my favourite unit, and I love them. Yeah. Quality atmosphere going on over here. We've got Mark versus the Grey Knights. I mean, check that out right there. Look at that, it's amazing. Then we've got Jack, all the gang, Kieran over there, also part of the mentorship. Been to our masterclass days, killing it with his. I think they're top table, aren't they, over there? Yeah. That's top table. Got those rubrics. Sorry, Ben. It's all right. Right, guys. Game 2 is over.
Yeah, it is.
It's over. Yeah. And it was a bloody game. It was a bloody game, Ben.
It was a massive mulch in the middle.
Yeah. So. I don't know if you... I can't remember what point you last saw what I filmed, but you brought the Wraiths in, didn't you? And you made the most incredible charge.
Yeah, that's always.
You had such great efficiencies because you doomed in Jinx one unit, shot them, which was the unit, I'll be honest, I was cross at you for doing that because you made your charge so much longer.
Yeah.
But you actually rinsed all that squad. I was picking the models away, but you still made your charge into the other unit. So you not only pretty much wiped out 2 units of Sanguinary Guard from combat and shooting in one turn, but then my punch back was pretty brutal, wasn't it? Because all my characters can heroically intervene.
I needed 1 more inch to wipe the Sangers out. Yeah. Because you could heroic in.
Bear in mind, he got +2 and he rolled a 10.
Yeah, and still needed another inch.
So he basically needed a 5 and a 6 in, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't have piled in so many people, maybe, yeah.
Interesting game. I had to deploy so far in the corner because you went first, and
Death Company
obviously with no C's or anything, you can't even risk it anymore. You just in the corner and trying to fight your way out all game. So
Yeah.
my army kills a lot, but I'd lost the board.
And it was just an absolute slog getting through. First of all, those the Seer Council with a 3++. Like when those Death Company went in, I was expecting to pick up 5, and you only killed 2.
So many people do. Like
just tanked
last
them.
game, the Paladins come in and they kill 1.
Yeah, he tanked
And you
those
just
3
walk
ups.
off, you know. But
Because you've got 3 ups there, you've got 4 ups on the 3 ups on the Wraith Blades when they're protected. So obviously when the conclaves weaken, put it on the other one. You played that well.
everything's a 5-up, feeling it bang.
I got Death Company and Sangers into the 4 up Grotesque, and it just took ages. But we just kept battling. But because I had the board, I managed to get 40 points, maxed out my secondaries,
25.
and your characters were just jumping near my characters that were exposed, whereas where I had to put them into combat, and then you were just smiting them away and putting all your attacks on them to get your headhunter points, which was the right play. I couldn't get to your engineers quick enough, so you'd already got that, but I'm not really worried about that. Do you know what I mean? I've got so many other threats
It was
that
such a close game, it's like
yeah.
it's big things, It's like
So ended up 40-25.
yeah.
So mate,
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Third time lucky.
And we can,
Yeah, third time lucky.
yeah, because you beat me in competitions when we've
I beat you
played.
here when we first played. That's how I
Yep.
met you.
When you had your Eldar.
7 planes
Oh, and you picked up a knight turn 1
and 2 tank commanders.
and 2 tank. I just
And then
couldn't.
zoned the whole board out so your Death Watch landed in the corner.
And then my veterans went into your Farseer, fought twice, couldn't even kill him.
No.
You just
And then we went
bossed
for
all
a
your
drink
saves.
instead.
Yeah. So that was, and then the next time was I was Element, and I was all ready to go, and I played my socks off in that game, and you just went seize, and then your banner was going bananas, wasn't it? And mine was like,
Yeah.
so,
My
and that
banner
was a
did
super
everything.
close game, though, wasn't it?
That was turn 1.
So-
Thunderfire's picking up 4 units.
Yeah.
That's just
Oh, your Thunderfire's killing my
Mental.
planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid. Anyway, so third
brilliant.
time lucky. Shame that we had to play each other game 2.
So early.
I'd have loved this.
I thought it was going to be close to the final game, if not,
Yeah.
round 4, round 5 sort of game.
Would have been lovely to do that.
But now I got you out of the way. I just need to 42 everybody else and finish
it.
second.
Right, appreciate that, mate. And top
Yeah.
work. And best
good,
luck for
mate.
the next event.
And you.
So if the thing is now, so Ben's plan of action is, he needs to go
Score as high as I can.
score as high as he can, and that way it will be the highest scorer that has a loss that will come second or third at this event. So
There's
that's
no draws, it'll be...
so the podium, yeah. Right. Good luck. See you guys game 3 in a bit. It's game 3, and look who I've got. Look at him, chuffed his punch over there
I
with
don't
his,
think I should be.
with his towel. I sense like an overconfidence there, Jack.
I'm feeling cocky. I'm feeling very cocky.
He's made me go first, which I didn't really want to do, but anyway. So I've deployed over here. I can't believe that I've had to play you and Ben Jones in 2 games. Could be up against, one of us could be up against Mark next if he wins his next game. Anyway, so let's see what I can do. Secondaries, I'm still not sure if I picked the right ones.
Not me.
I'm just trying to figure out a game plan now, but I'm not going to tell you because then that means I'm also telling Jack. And I don't want him knowing anything. Right, anyway, Jack,
Right, let's do it.
let's have a good game, mate. Now, unfortunately, myself and Jack weren't able to sit down and get some time because we had to go and get out for dinner. So, I'll give a quick roundup. And also, we just recorded a podcast. So if you want to hear Jack's thoughts on this game, just check out episode 7 of the Competitive 40k podcast and you can get the story from his point of view. But for me, really, this is a really tough matchup to play into, and you're going to see from the clip in a moment kind of how I deployed, and also you can see kind of what I was trying to go for. Now, there was a huge amount of line of sight blocking surrounding the middle of the table, and I thought I really need to use this to my advantage. So The secondaries I picked were extremely defensive. Jack made me go first, and ultimately I knew that what I needed to do was push into the centre of the board and hold there. Now, there was a nice little objective towards this side of the camera when you see it shortly of the board, and I deployed 3 units of scouts in there, and basically those 3 units of scouts, along with 2 characters, their job was simply to move out onto that objective that I'd placed near my lines, and I was very targeted in when I placed that down, because I knew if I hold it I get the bonus. So the tactic was place an objective where I know I can attack it from that piece of cover. I can deploy my scouts in there in every single turn, move a unit out, not only capturing me that objective for the bonus point, but also getting me the line breaker. Now that's exactly what I did pre-game. I was looking at the terrain, looking at the table, and coming up my plan of action. And then the other secondary I took was a recon, which I know I can score quite easily because I know I can grab the center of the board. And then also what I can do is take the Born to be a Legend again. I knew that I had a quite easy kill because there was some of those stealth guys there. I knew if he brought a character anywhere near me with that cold star, maybe I can counter, which I ended up doing. And then also I knew I could get the line breaker portion of that by hiding in the ruins. So it's all about setting up those plays, and I managed to score 11 out of the 12 secondaries while still scoring hold more for majority of the game. And that pretty much won me it. Jack used his Riptide to come forward and ended up sacrificing a Riptide, a unit of drones, and also a tank commander, a commander, which then meant that for one of the turns I was also able to get the kill more, which was great. But because when I did go into an attack, I completely saturated the board with threats. His 2 remaining Riptides were only able to pick up 1 unit, and then the next unit was still free to kind of do what it needed to. And then the Death Company could retreat back into getting that hold more. So I played a very defensive game, and it worked out well enough just to make sure I secured that win.
So the calm after the storm. I went for the ribs. Mark's got some cheeseburger with steak. Bit of steak, yeah. Ben, what have you got? Everything. Ben couldn't decide. And you got the mother clucker.
Chicken pork.
Chicken and pork. Oh, now the fries are coming out. Excellent.
Thank you.
Can you pass me that salt, please, Jack?
Absolutely not.
That's right, you're salty enough, mate.
Yeah, I'm alright.
He's salty enough, you don't need any.
I don't talk to anyone. For my age. Oh, wow.
Morning guys, how you doing, Mark?
How you doing, alright?
So day 2, and on our way now to the event. Had a great meal last night, didn't we?
Beautiful.
As you guys would see, really fantastic food, really good. We didn't even film the or time lapse the nachos we had in the wings, which were on point. Was it called the Smoke Pit we went to in Leicester?
Yeah, I think it was in Northampton.
Northampton, yeah, really good place. So definitely recommend checking that out.
Perfect day, 3 games, nice bit of dinner with your mates.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
So I was gutted that I had to go through Ben Jones game 2 and also Jack game 3. But
they were more gutted.
Yeah. But the great thing is, I said to Jack, it's fantastic that now, you know, we're going to events and we are the top scorers. That's brilliant to see that. You know, the standard of like the Vanguard Tactics coaches are rising so much that, you know, we're seed 1, 2, 3, 4 and we're having to play against each other. That's absolutely brilliant, and it's actually a good sign really of our progression in the game. But this event is absolutely fantastic. The table layout is brilliant. So I'm up against Ravengard today, against Max. So I've played Max before, really nice guy. Was playing Eldar, now using Ravengard. So he's got like Assault Centurions, Grav Sense and stuff. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's a tough game. It's a very good list. It's one of the strongest lists out there. He's, you know, number 2 seed at the moment. I'm number 1 at the moment. So and this is kind of the semi-finals loss. And Mark, you're on 2 wins and a loss right now, is that right?
Yep.
Lost to Grey Knights yesterday, and we've just been talking about, you know, maybe how you could have played a bit differently. We're going to do a full review podcast on how these new ITC mission packs have impacted armies like Iron Hands and stuff. And actually, it's for the better of the meta, so to speak, without any puns. But yeah, we're going to be doing a good review on that. So if you guys are thinking, oh, you know, bloody Iron Hands, all that stuff, well, actually ITC is probably the way forward in terms of mission pack to help negate their strengths, which are sitting in a corner and just blowing you off the table, because that's probably why you lost, wasn't it, yesterday?
Yeah, I think the lack of movement that I played my opponent's game. He played a fantastic game, and I
I'm unstuck.
Yeah, basically sat and in a corner, tried to shoot him off the board, but my lack of movement really killed me, I think.
Yeah. And you're up against Nids today, so hopefully that goes well, Mark. But anyway, guys, we've just arrived, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the table next up. See you in a minute.
See ya.
Okay, guys, so unfortunately I didn't manage to get any video footage of this game. I just about remembered to take a quick picture. Time was tight, and also this was a hell of a game for me to really sit down and think about what I was going to do. Now, we drew Vanguard, and Max was going first. He chose to go first so that he can basically deploy me off the board with all his infiltrators and his eliminators, which he did. He screened out really, really well here. And you can see that right down the centre in that diagonal line, that's what he did. And unfortunately for me, I only had 2 tiny pieces of terrain in my deployment. As you can see, they're right at the back, a million miles away from the edge of the deployment line. Those grav cents that he's got, I think he's got 5 grav cents, and he had 2 units of 3 assault cents with 2 thunder fires at the back. They were going to cause me a bad day. Now, Maxwell basically put 2 units of the assault cents in deep strike so that they can come down where they need to, which is obviously the right play to do. And then he's got his character that can redeploy with those grav cents. Now, I knew that if I had 1 unit out in the table, then they're going to get shot off the board. If I knew that I went in deep strike, then he's going to zone me out with those infiltrators. So I ummed and ahed about how I was going to deploy, and I spent majority of my time deploying. And in the end, I decided to just put everything on the line. Absolutely everything went on the line, and I knew that I needed to take casualties. There was nothing I could do about it, but if I didn't play this way, I was going to be completely out of it. Now, what I did do in return was get plenty of wraps off. I declared my targets really well, consolidated, and ultimately turn 1 managed to remove most of the screens and also start to get the board back, and I managed to get the hold and the kill more in turn 1. I did lose a lot of not Stern Guard. I did manage to lose a lot of the Sanguinary Guard, should I say, but I did have enough Death Company left to sort of hop around and do what they do best, which is smash things up with those Thunder Hammers. And then when those Assault Cents did come in, I managed to have only a couple of models left here and there to sort of charge from behind ruins to negate most of the Overwatch, get in, and then the Death Company could go in and take care of a unit, which they did. The characters then took care of the Grav Cents along with some of the Sanguinary Guard because they were so close. And then also, when the Assault Cents came down, they went into my deployment to get the bonus, which meant I had control of the board. I was wrapping and trapping characters so that those Thunder Fires couldn't really do anything apart from kill some units of scouts, which I was okay with, and again, acceptable casualties for me. Meanwhile, then I could clear up the board, and we ended that with a big 40-point win to me. I don't really think Max could have played it any differently, but I just played well in regards to wrapping and trapping so that it kind of limited his firepower. And ultimately, yeah, the Raven Guard do hit hard but in combat, but obviously my army is completely tailored to that, and by doing those and taking those wraps off, then he wasn't able to use those Grav Cents to their true effectiveness apart from turn 1. So yeah, I was happy with how I deployed. It was a little bit counterintuitive, but actually paid off, and I was really pleased with that performance. So now moving on into round 5, as you will see next, I've got the Grey Knights.
Make
making you appear less beautiful.
Yes, mate, you're beautiful, Ken, don't worry. So I'm up against Ken today, and we're in round 5, aren't we? This is basically the final.
Yeah.
It's the final.
Second place winner.
Not sure about that. We'll see. But I'm up against the almighty, fearsome Grey Knights, and I've got the Blood Angels. Now, I've just gone, the Fellowship is down, and they're ready to rock and roll. I was up against the Vanguard last game, and that went quite well for me, although I had to play extremely well to bring that one out. And credit to my opponent Max, we had a fantastic game, and he played really, really well, just went my way. So, this is deployed. They're inside this ruin. Keeping nice and safe from all my assault bolters, and then we've got this in deep strike. 3 up invulnerable save, boy, nasty. So let's see what we can do. Crucible champions. Ken, I'll do a left-handed handshake, but let's have a good game, mate. Okay, guys. So the Grey Knight roundup. Now this picture shows the end of the game, and the tactic here, as you can see, are deployed on the board. Scouts were putting a lot of forward pressure on. Now, Ken actually got first. Ken actually won the roll-off and chose to go second. He'd been playing KG all weekend and decided that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to basically have the counter in terms of the hold more. He went for defensive secondaries. He wanted to know how many units he could kill so he could kill more. And ultimately, just sort of play me off the board. Now, I took the opportunity to use my scouts to zone out as much of the board as I possibly could, deploy my models, within striking distance of objectives, within board edges and all that good stuff. And then I deployed absolutely everything on the table. And the reason for that is so that I could redeploy a unit for 2 CPs and then put it exactly where I need to, maybe charge or zone out. So that's what I did. And because of the way that Ken then deployed, he deployed everything in that ruin, to basically keep it safe, which is a valid strategy in that enclosed ruin. But what I was able to do was spend 2 CPs, move forward, it pre-game, and then move in my movement phase. And I did roll a really good advance roll, so that did help me stretch out. And then I managed to allocate my attacks really well from the Death Company, stringing back to my characters, getting all their buffs off, and basically fought once to put some of the chainswords into the Purge Gators, which were at the front. I put some hammers into a chaplain, and then I put some other hammers into the Inceptors, and I managed to wipe all those 3 units off. But I didn't pile in to the character at this point, and all I did was had 1 model touching a Dreadnought, so that the Dreadnought couldn't shoot in his return, but I didn't base the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought I just kept, within an inch, but not basing him. Then what I did was I spent 3 CPs. That 3 CPs allowed me to pile in 6 inches, wrap the Dreadnought, put all of my attacks that I needed to on... Sorry, before I wrapped the Dreadnought, I put all of my attacks on the characters, picked up both of those with the hammers, and then also wrapped up the Dreadnought nice and tight. And the Sanguinary Guard, I didn't spend the 2 CPs to get the 3d 6-inch charge because I could re-roll any of the dice and I already got my Litany offer +2 to charge, which meant they managed to make it into the strike team, clear those off the table, and that was my turn 1. So turn 1 was a huge turn for me, and then me and Ken essentially spoke it through. His Dreadnought was wrapped in combat, and then all I do is I pick up his Dreadnought in his turn, so the game was over in about 20 minutes from deployment to my turn 1, because everything else was in deep strike, literally the other 50% of his army, and it is an elite army, so he needed to be careful. And yeah, I basically no boots on the ground him, which is why I ended up with a 36-0 score. I just scored all of my secondaries and then obviously 4 points for the remaining battle rounds for the 6 turns. So yeah, really pleased with that. I did apologise to Ken to say, look, I'm sorry this has gone away so quickly, but it is obviously the final, and Ken was completely cool with it. He saw his mistakes and couldn't blame me whatsoever, and would have done the exact same in my position anyway. So we had a really nice game, and me and Ken have played before, so yeah, that was great. So in the end, yeah, that was me. And as you can see next, how I feel, I did a little recording at the end, and then also a bit of a roundup as to going forward, what I do with my list going next. Andy.
Hi.
Greetings from the Warp.
Yes.
What started it all? Where was the origins of Greeting from the Warp?
It's a good story. Well, I think it's a good story because I've been part of it for the whole journey. So 5 years ago, we decided. So me and my friend Matthew decided to have a load of mates round the house to play some 40k.
Okay, I'm glad you went that way. Yeah, cool.
It was great. So that's back in like sixth edition. So,
okay.
So from that, we had a load of the guys, Ryan, Toby, Round. We played a few games in my conservatory, and we had a great time. So we decided to do it again. So a few months down the line, we're like, oh, we'll invite a few more people around, and it ended up being 18 people in
a conservatory.
In a conservatory, which is undoable, obviously.
Yeah.
So we realised, there's quite an appetite for this, and we decided, should we run an event and invite as many people who want to come to the event? So we decided, we would. So our aim was to provide a gaming event for East Anglia, which is the area of the country where I live in, so Northamptonshire, and we wanted the event to be a really high class calibre of terrain event, so people would come, see the terrain and think, you know what, those boards are really, really great. So we invested heavily in all the Games Workshop towers and scenery at the time, and we put on these 5 tables worth of terrain. So we invited 10 people to our first tournament, which was back 5 years ago, so 2015. And we just scraped 10 people, believe it or not. So it was touch and go. We had 8 people on the Thursday, but we managed to drag 2 of our friends in. So we got 10 people to come to the hall, well, the home of Greetings from the Warp, to play in a 10-man tournament. And then from there, we had such a good time doing it, we said, well, let's go now to 20. And we built up the terrain. We painted the terrain ourselves, got the mats from Gamer EU. Mateus has been a great sponsor of ours in the past. We've got some frontline gaming mats as well from the guys over in the States. And from that, we've slowly built up our 40k events to what we've got on today, which is our ITC. With it's our biggest, so 38 players now down for our ITC event this weekend. Which
and they're growing and growing.
Yeah, absolutely. So
loads more to come in the future.
Yes, yeah, we love it.
What 3 things can you expect from a Greetings from the Warm event?
Right, okay, so really fun players, that's at the heart of everything we do. So we put the player focus on every tournament we do. So, and every guy and girl what comes to our tournaments, so they have a great time, they tell us. So that's our main focus. So you'll meet some real fantastic people, some real characters as well, which really enjoy the hobby and share our passion for it too. You can also enjoy great food. So we have Dawn's Kitchen, which is exclusive to Greetings from the Warp events. No one else has got that. So we put on hot food, obviously, both days, which people really do enjoy as well. And finally, the atmosphere on our events are really, really chilled. People come and enjoy the game. They don't feel uber pressured, and they don't feel like cheated in any way. So they go away feeling, actually, we had a really good environment, really good people, and actually they've relaxed, played the game, and played the hobby of how it should have been played.
Literally caters for all players of the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Andrew, thanks so much for doing an incredible job, as always. And I look forward to coming to the next one that you put on, so make sure you let me know when that's going to be.
No problem.
So thanks so much, mate.
Great stuff, thank you.
So the other 2, obviously, will belong to people who have come at podiums.
Oh.
So we'll start at the bottom of the podium. So we have a very, very respectable 3rd place for Kenneth Morley.
Hi. Thank you.
Well done, Ken. So, Tom?
Also, 2nd place, and best seen us, Ben Jones.
Ben Jones.
Got 2 to hold now.
2 to hold.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing the
Trust me.
And then, was there any doubt? First place.
There was, I doubted it.
He beat his last opponent that badly, he's already left.
He's left.
That's harsh, man.
I will say he left in really good spirits running across the goal. No, he did. just in case you think, oh my God, he's not even staying around. He took it really well, and he just got up early.
So, our winner of this event, Stephen Box.
Yay!
Yeah, hold those.
Thanks, guys.
So guys, there we have it. I'm absolutely chuffed, really pleased how I played. 5 exceptional games against 5 exceptional opponents, and yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic event all round. Greetings from the Warp, you guys did an amazing job. Terrain was beautiful, environment, atmosphere was fantastic, and yeah, honestly, I want to say thanks to everyone who supported the Blood Angels and wish me good luck and everything. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. And yeah, this was my first GT win, so I'm really happy with that. And had a few second places, thirds, fifths, fourths, all that stuff, but never a first place for a GT, so happy with that. And another big 200 points for the ITC rankings. So hopefully that'll do me well for the best Blood Angel player of the year by the time we get to the end of the season. But I love the list. It's taught me loads of things. This week in particular, I've learned loads of things. I'll be going back, you know, writing everything down, what I've learned, annotating it, analysing it. And I'm actually tempted to do a webinar. It'll be a live webinar, so kind of one-time only live webinar on how I use and play my Blood Angels, and it will only be viewable for people that go live with me at that time. So if you're interested in that, then check out the link below, and you can sign up to the emails. If you sign up for my Blood Angels list as well, basically any of those links below, it will take you to my email list, and I'll send you all the details for that. So anyway guys, thanks so much, and yeah, it's been an absolute blast. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I'll keep on improving these vlogs as I go along. I'm learning more about this whole thing in terms of vlogging and tournament reporting and stuff, so please subscribe, and any comments you have, any questions, please pop them below. I'd love to hear them, and I'll try and get back to pretty much everyone I can when time allows me. So anyway guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next vlog. See you later.